underway.
Back to receive for the Red Devils are number 4, Amari Cotton, and number 5, Clay Woody.
Referee signals it in. And there's the kickoff. We're underway here in Cedar Hill. Number 4, Amari Cotton, took the ball about the 12-yard line, lost his footing, slipped and fell, and so that's where the Jo Byrns Red Devils will take over.
The kick was just a little too high for him to reach.
A little too high, a little over his head. He pulled it down, then lost his footing as soon as he came down. So the Red Devils going to take over here. 1st and 10 at around the 13-yard line. Quarterback number 12, Luke Miller, in the shotgun formation. He hands off to the right. Hands over to Cotton.
Tackle made by number 3, Will Massey.
Looks like Cotton got about 3 yards on that pickup, so that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Saw Will Massey in the game last week on the defensive side, making several tackles. Look to see big things again tonight from the Red Boiling Springs defensive line. We saw Chris Martinez, Jordan Ray in on a lot of stops last week as well. Miller back in the shotgun formation again. Lone back in the backfield.
Pass is
Short
batted
pass,
down.
batted down. Great shot there. Looks like that may have been Martinez. No, I'm sorry. That was Aubrey Link. Aubrey Link at the linebacker spot, out playing an outside linebacker, got his hand up, batted that down. And so incomplete pass, going to bring up 3rd and 7 from the 16-yard line. Jo Byrns getting lined up, getting their play in. They've got 2 men out wide to the left. Man in motion, comes over. He's back to pass, takes a 3-step drop. He fires over to the right side to Cotton. Cotton pulls it down inbounds at the 33-yard line, and that's enough for a 1st down. So Jo Byrns on a great connection there on a 17-yard play. 1st down for Jo Byrns. Cotton jumped up and caught that and landed just in bounds, didn't he?
Toe tapper.
Toe tapper, that's right. Toe tapper, and his next step was out of bounds over on the Jo Byrns bench. First and 10 now. The 33-yard line. Here's the handoff to Cotton. He comes out to the left. He's got some room. He's got a few blockers. Flags down on the field. And finally pushed out of bounds by Kelby Wheeler. Referee is blowing his whistle.
It looked like a holding
We've
to
got
me.
Holding. You called it right. We've got a holding call against Jo Byrns. So that's going to bring that play back. That was a nice running play. He had a lot of blockers and a lot of running room, but the holding call is going to bring it back.
So we'll bring down a 1st down and 15.
Now we're at the 26-yard line. A replay 1st down, 1st and 15. Jo Byrns gets their play, comes up to the line. Miller again in the shotgun. Lone back Cotton. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the far right. The man fakes his motion, comes back in. He's back to pass again. He throws over the middle.
Caught by number 1. Stewart.
Caleb Stewart brings that down. And that's going to be a gain of about 10 yards to the 36-yard line. Still about 6 yards short, 7 yards short of the 1st down. So that'll bring up Second down and about 7 yards to go. He was brought down by Tyler Lancaster. Good tackle across the middle. Miller hands off to Cotton. And he's immediately stopped in the backfield by Aubrey Link. He pulled him down just after he handed him the ball, didn't he?
It was like a strainer, water getting through.
He was, I think he was unblocked on that. Link came right through the line, and as soon as he handed him the ball, he grabbed his jersey, and down he goes.
He had nowhere to go.
So Jo Byrns will back up to the 33-yard line. About 9 yards to go now, 3rd and 9, as Jo Byrns comes up to the line. Quarterback going to audible, gets more instruction from his coach on the side. Here's the snap. He steps back, 3 steps back. Now he's going to keep it. He goes up almost to the line of scrimmage, tries to make a pass to 23, was the intended receiver, Chase Bradley, but threw it about 3 yards short. And so with that, it's going to be 4th and 9. And we'll see what Jo Byrns elects to do here.
Looks like there was a little contact before the throw. Knocked him off balance.
Looks like Cotton may be back to punt for Jo Byrns. Back to receive. The punt is going to be number 4, Joseph Birdwell for the Bulldogs. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. High end over end kick. Takes a Jo Byrns bounce and then out of bounds.
Around the 42.
About the 42-yard line. Red Boiling Springs Bulldogs will take over on the 42-yard line.
Looks like about a 30-yard punt.
Not a bad punt. We're going to see what Aubrey Link and the Bulldogs can do. Look to see some more running out of Tyler Lancaster. Saw him a lot last week. Did a great job. Had some great blocking. And, really showed off some speed last week against Community. And we'll see what they're going to do tonight. Bulldogs coming up to the line. Jo Byrns in a 4-man front. He hands off to Lancaster. Off to the left he goes. And he's finally ridden down by number 11. Tyler Honeycutt brings him down. But that's enough for a first down for the Bulldogs on the first play from scrimmage in this ball game. You always like getting those first downs. Great way to start the game for the Bulldogs.
Looks like Honeycutt jumped on his back and other people had to help him bring him down.
That's
it was
right.
A good, strong run.
Kind of rode him down. You know, Lancaster, he's you would say a comparatively slight fella. He's not a big, bulky guy. But man, he can run with some heart. He can run strong. Here's another handoff to Lancaster. He's off to the left side again. Looks like the same play, and he has to be ridden down once again.
Looks like number 23, Chase Bradley.
Another good, strong run for Lancaster.
Looks like a 4-yard gain. Bring up 2nd and 6.
Second and 6 for the Bulldogs. Link comes over to the side to get his play from the coach. We saw that last week. Link was coming out between every play, getting the play from the coach and running it back in himself. Here's the snap in shotgun formation. Lancaster to the right side. He's got some blockers, and it looks like he may have gotten the first down. It's going to be very close if they don't call that a first down. And they did. First down for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs marching down the field.
Tackle made by number 50, Caden Crawford.
So I mentioned when we started this drive, the Bulldogs started their opening drive, that Lancaster, we'd see a lot out of Lancaster. They've had 3 plays so far. All 3 plays have been to Tyler Lancaster, and he's got 2 first downs out of it. And so he's running strong again tonight for the Bulldogs. Here's the snap to Link. Link's going to take it this time himself. He's going to run himself to the left. He's running, driving, bulldozes his way through. And he's finally taken down at about the 29-yard line. Jo Byrns' 29-yard line by Malachi Rivera, number 3. That was a strong run. About an 8-yard pickup. That'll bring up 2nd and 2 for the Bulldogs.
He can really barrel over someone.
He can, absolutely. Lowers his shoulder, lowers that helmet, and we saw that last week at Community. If you can't run around him, he just runs through them. And that's what you want to see when you got somebody with football running for you.
You got to know he's really well conditioned, playing both sides of the ball.
Indeed, and the kicker.
And the kicker.
Here's the snap to Link. Link steps back. Here's the pass. Complete pass over to Birdwell. Birdwell's going to pick up maybe a yard on that pass. Little pass out in the flat to the right side. Well executed, but the defenders were there. If they watched film, they probably saw the Bulldogs use that little flat pass sometimes to get them out of a jam, and those cornerbacks may have been sniffing that out from the start. 3rd and 1 now for the Bulldogs. 5:31 left to go in the first quarter. Here's the snap to Link. Lancaster off to the left side. He's got the first down and more down to the 20-yard line. Another first down for the Bulldogs, and Tyler Lancaster showing off more of that quickness and agility and running through those defenders.
Looks like another tackle by Tyler Honeycutt.
Honeycutt has been on several tackles so far in this game. 5:07 left to go in the first quarter. Bulldogs are on the Jo Byrns 20-yard line. 20 yards to glory. Headed to that end zone. Bulldogs coming up to the line. Link back in the shotgun formation. Hands to Lancaster. He comes over to the right side. It took 3 of them to get him down, but he goes down right at the 16-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 4. That'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs. Head coach Justin Robeson for Jo Byrns is going to have to figure out a way to stop Lancaster. Here's the snap. Back to Link. Link throws across the middle. Complete pass across the middle. Beautiful pass and beautiful jumping catch by Joseph Birdwell across the middle down to Jo Byrns' 5-yard line. And so here are the Bulldogs knocking on the door. We saw that shootout last week when the passes started flying, then scoring all the way up and down the field. And so that makes an exciting football game when you see a lot of passing, especially in high school football. When you see a lot of passing, a lot of catching, and Red Boiling Springs does a lot of passing, and it makes it fun to watch for sure. Link now in the I formation, comes up under center. He takes the snap. Here's a tall sweep over to Lancaster, over to the left. He's headed toward the corner of the end zone, and he's taken down around the 4-yard line, but there's a flag. The referee, head referee, threw a flag there right at the end of the tackle, and we'll wait and see what the call is on that. Very little gain at all, maybe a half a yard gain on that, but let's see what the referee signals. We've got a face mask on Jo Byrns, and so we're going to go half the distance to the goal, and right now that only means about 2.5 yards. So at about the 2.5-yard line, the Bulldogs will have a first down. 1st and goal for the Bulldogs, trying to get in to put the opening score on the board. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Here's the snap to Link. Here's Lancaster going right up the middle.
Looks to be
very close, very close.
A little short.
Looks like he is down right at the 1-yard line, maybe even the 6-inch line. And so you'll be looking at 2nd and 1, or 2nd and goal at the 1 for the Bulldogs. Again, Link going with the I formation. Got 3 strong backs behind him. And he's going to take it himself on the quarterback keeper. And
touchdown.
He barrels through all of them and never goes down. All the way in the end zone, touchdown. Red Boiling Springs. 6-0 now. Red Boiling Springs, and we'll see if they're going to kick the extra point. They did last week until they needed to start going for 2. Community never kicked an extra point last week. They went for 2 every time. They only punted once in the entire game. Went for it on 4th down.
Onside kicks, too.
Lots of onside kicks last week, for sure.
Successful onside kicks.
Link is going to kick the extra point. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. And it is no good. Pull just a little bit to the right. 6-0 now with 2:25 left in the first quarter. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back as the Bulldogs will be kicking off the Jo Byrns Red Devils. You're listening to 1460 WEEN and 97.5, your home for Bulldog football. Score 6-0, 2:25 left to go in the first quarter. And now Aubrey Link will set up for the kickoff to the Red Devils. Referee signals it in. Here's the kick. We've got a high kick, comes down right at the 20-yard line. Cotton takes it, and he's taken down right at the Red Devils' 35-yard line. Had 4 Bulldogs in on the tackle there. So Jo Byrns will take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line to see if they can answer the Bulldogs' opening score. 2:21 left to go in the first quarter. We saw on that drive while they're getting set, we saw on that drive Lancaster running the ball strong. We saw a great pass across the middle to Birdwell.
You really have to credit him for that catch because he took a hard lick after.
He did. Took a hard hit across the middle, and then Link, once they got down to the 1-yard line, he just walked it in himself. Jo Byrns comes to the line. Luke Miller, quarterback, in shotgun formation. He hands off to Cotton, who runs over here to the left. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and picks up about 2 yards out to the 37-yard line.
Tackle made by number 2, Dalton Dallas.
They're going to give him the 38-yard line. So going to give him 3 yards on that. That'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Red Devils. Dalton Dallas made several stops last week, and look for him to continue to make some more tonight. Miller in the shotgun formation. Lone back Cotton. He hands off to Cotton, who goes right up the middle. He's got the first down and more. He's down to the 30, the 20, the 10. There's no flags on the field. That's a touchdown. The Jo Byrns Red Devils. Number 4, Amari Cotton with the score. And that ties our game 6-6.
He broke a lot of tackles there.
He did. Broke several tackles. And once he got into the open field, there was no catching.
No.
He showed a lot of speed there. So Amari Cotton gets in to the end zone for the Red Devils. And we'll wait to see if they're going to go for the 2-point conversion or if they're going to kick. Looks like they're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Miller in the shotgun formation. Cotton again, the lone back. Here's the snap. Handoff to Cotton right up the middle. He evades a couple of defenders and walks into the end zone. Making the score now 7-6. The Red Devils taking the lead on the Bulldogs. We'll be right back. Who's going to be kicking for the Jo Byrns Red Devils? Here's the kick. Short kick, only about 10 yards, but fielded cleanly and fallen. Who caught that one? Number
9.
Number 9 caught that one. That'd be Adrian Sieber caught that. And the Bulldogs are going to take over at the 44-yard line, their own 44-yard line, almost at midfield. Very short kick, almost tried to pooch kick it there.
Yeah.
But it just didn't go very far. It was kind of halfway between a regular kick and an onside kick, or an onside kick and a pooch kick, kind of halfway between those. But nevertheless, Sieber was able to fall on it. You know, Red Boiling last week at Community, they had several onside kicks that were recovered by Community. And, you know, I think they may have worked on that this week in practice, catching those short kicks, because he caught that one cleanly and went straight down. Link in the shotgun. He hands off to Lancaster over to the right side. Lancaster dodges a couple of tackles, but eventually taken down by number 50.
Caden Crawford.
Caden Crawford brings him down.
He had a couple tackles last drive for as well.
Less than a minute to go here in the first quarter. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs. Looks like Link's getting his play and heading back in. He's going to try to get this play off before the end of the first quarter. The Bulldogs are going to come to the line. This may be the last play of the first quarter. Link has 4 receivers out on the field. He steps back. He looks to find a man to pass to. Can't find anybody, so he keeps it himself, and he gains about a yard on that play from scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Bulldogs. Clock winding down in the first quarter. Not going to try to get another play off before the end of the quarter. We're down to 5 seconds left in the first quarter. And the Bulldogs just going to take a break. And we're going to take a break here on 1460 WEEN and 97.5. Thanks for joining us here. And we're back here to start the second quarter. Your Red Boiling Springs Bulldogs taking on the Red Devils of Jo Byrns High School here in Cedar Hill, Tennessee. Aubrey Link steps back, passes. Intended receiver on that was Will Massey. Got his hands on it, but just couldn't hold on to it. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 6 yards to go. The Bulldogs, the Red Devils, change ends of the field as we do at the end of the quarter. So the Bulldogs now going right to left on your radio dial. Looks like Link is going to step back to punt for the Bulldogs. Back to receive is Reed Blumell. Here's the snap. Link gets a long punt back to Blumell, who starts to field it, but then thinks better of it and goes all the way to the end zone. And so that'll be a touchback, and the Red Devils will take over out on the 20-yard line.
That was a great punt.
It was a great punt, a long driving punt from Aubrey Link.
And it just barely made it into the end zone, too.
It did. I honestly thought for a second it was going to die and pin the Red Devils back inside their own 5-yard line. But it took just another extra bounce and went on into the end zone. But that was a really good punt.
Strong leg.
Luke Miller back in the shotgun formation for the Red Devils as they take over here 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. He hands off to Cotton, who goes right back up the middle again. This time it looks like the Bulldogs are ready for him. And he's got a short gain, maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Tackle made by a group of Bulldogs.
There were at least 4 Bulldogs on that tackle. After that last drive where Cotton just went right through the middle, I think the Bulldogs made the necessary adjustments to be able to shut down that middle. Last week we saw at Community between Chris Martinez and Jordan Ray, if you tried to run between those 2 guys on either side of the center, then you went nowhere. Here's the snap back to Miller. Miller steps back to pass. He finds his man about the 35-yard line. Caleb Stewart with the reception, and that's going to bring up a 1st down for Jo Byrns. He got an extra yard after the catch, and so at their own 36-yard line, the Jo Byrns Red Devils will move the chains. 1st and 10.
Jo Byrns is doing good at the yardage after catch.
You know, the mark of a good receiver is not just catching the ball, but catching the ball, making a football move, and doing something with it. Getting some more yardage after that catch gets you one step closer to the end zone. Miller's still back in the shotgun formation. He takes a snap. He hands to Cotton. Cotton now bounces out to the left side. Bulldogs are waiting for him. And he looks like he fumbled, but it looks like that was after he was already down. He fumbles, but not before he picks up about 8 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd and 2 for the Red Devils.
Tackle made by number 3, Will Massey.
9:45 left to go here in the second quarter. Jo Byrns 8, Bulldogs 6. And a lot of offense so far in this game. We've seen it through the air. We've seen it on the ground. A lot of talented boys out there. Miller brings up his offense, takes a snap. He steps back. He's looking for a receiver. He throws over to the left side. He finds a diving catch.
What a catch.
To Caleb Stewart over near the Jo Byrns sideline. He laid flat out and caught that.
I think he got both feet in, too.
He did. And so first down again for the Red Devils. Now at the Red Boiling Springs 37-yard line.
Fantastic catch.
That was a great catch. What an athletic play by number 1, Caleb Stewart, to lay out to make that catch and stay in bounds.
He's been a big factor in tonight's game.
He has. Handoff to Cotton right up the middle again. He breaks out to the left, and he may be able to get some room.
Flag is out.
We got a flag out. He runs into the end zone, seemingly going to score, but it looks like that we have got an illegal block by the Jo Byrns Red Devils. And so that's going to bring the touchdown back, take that back off the board. And they're going to replay. Now they're going to back them up 10 yards. So Jo Byrns will replay first down. They'll back him up, replay first down at the 40-yard line.
It looks like Amari Cotton is out this play, giving him a breather after that run.
He ran about 35 yards into the end zone, but the illegal block from Jo Byrns negated his run. And so they bring in Malachi Rivera in his place. Here's the snap. Miller steps back. He throws out to the flat. He again finds Caleb Stewart, who's still going, and he's finally pushed out of bounds by a couple of Bulldog defenders, but not before he's able to get a first down at the Bulldogs' 27-yard line.
It's another great yards after catch. He drug a couple Bulldogs about 5 or 6 yards.
He did. He caught that at about the 32 and then drove down to about the 26, 27. At least a 4 or 5 yard pickup after the catch with the Bulldogs hanging on as he was powering through them. And finally they pushed him out of bounds. So Jo Byrns, 1st and 10 on the Bulldogs' 27-yard line. Here's Miller with the count. Here's the snap. He hands off to Rivera. Rivera can't get anywhere up the middle. He bounces out to the outside and still can't get anywhere. And it looks like that.
Tackle made by 75, Jordan Ray.
Jordan Ray again on the stop. And Rivera is going to pick up about a half a yard on that. So we'll call it 2nd and 9 for the Red Devils after the commanding stop by Jordan Ray. Cotton back in the ball game. Looks like Rivera was in there for a couple of plays. Like you said, John Carter, I think they were just letting him have a breather He's been running the ball a lot tonight. And so now he's back in the game. Luke Miller still back at quarterback and still in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the left side. They may be looking to pass the ball here at 2nd and 9. Here's the snap. Here's the step back. He throws out. He throws out to Cotton behind the line of scrimmage. He didn't throw it behind himself, which would have been a fumble. But he did throw it behind the line of scrimmage. Cotton bounced off his fingertips. Incomplete pass. Going to be 3rd down with 9 yards to go on the Bulldogs' 26-yard line. 7:16 left to go in the first half. Jo Byrns 8, Bulldogs 6 right now on the scoreboard. And Jo Byrns had a few passes that were dropped. We're in pretty good position, but just weren't able to hang on. Here's the snap, back to Miller. Miller flips the ball. He throws for his man. He dives and is unable to make the catch. He led him very well. Had a good throw there to Clay Woody, number 5. Woody laid out to catch that, almost kind of like Caleb Stewart did over on the sideline. But as he came down, he couldn't hang on. So that'll bring up 4th and 9 for the Red Devils. They're at the Bulldogs' 26-yard line after the incomplete pass.
The ground really helped the Bulldogs with that one.
It did, absolutely. Had he hung on, he would have landed right at between the 2 and the 1 yard line and would have put the Jo Byrns Red Devils in a great position with 1st and goal. But as it stands, it's 4th and 9, so Miller back to pass again. He sees Cotton on the left side. He catches it, and he walks into the end zone for a touchdown. Yellow flag comes out, possibly a pass interference, either on the Bulldogs or the Red Devils.
I believe it was on us.
Could have been on the Bulldogs. Pass interference? No.
Oh.
No, they called. No, the referee signaled the wrong way, I think. It is pass interference on the Bulldogs. And, of course, Jo Byrns declines the penalty. The result of the play is a touchdown. And the Red Devils extend their lead by a score of 14-6. And it looks like they're going to come to the line to again attempt a 2-point conversion. Maybe the same issue that Community had last week. They may not have a kicker who can kick the 2-point conversion for them. Miller back for the 2-point conversion, hands off to Cotton. Cotton walks into the end zone for the 2 points. And so the Jo Byrns Red Devils will extend their lead with 7:03 to go in the first half. Score is 16-6. We'll be right back here on 1460 WEEN and 97.5, your home for Red Boiling Springs High School football. Jo Byrns now at the Red Boiling Springs 45-yard line for the kickoff. I believe they're assessing a penalty against the Bulldogs. And after the 2-point conversion, the Red Devils extend their lead by 10. Cotton back to kick for the Red Devils. Here's the key, tries the onside kick. Bulldogs fall on it smartly and able to take over there on the 30-yard line.
Number 3, Will Massey, fell on it.
Will Massey did a great job falling on that. Again, I think they may have practiced that a little bit this week, falling on those onside kicks. And that's 2 that the Red Devils have attempted short kicks, and the Bulldogs smelled those out real quick. So the Bulldogs take over 1st and 10, right at just shy of the 30, their own 30-yard line. 16-6 with 7 minutes left to go here in the first half. The Red Devils of Jo Byrns lead the Red Boiling Springs High School Bulldogs. Here's the snap, handoff to Tyler Lancaster again. He's bullying his way down the middle, and he's going to pick up about 2 yards. He's going to get out to about the 31-yard line, right at the 31-yard line, as Aubrey Link handed that to Lancaster right up the gut.
Looks like another tackle by number 50, Caden Crawford.
Caden Crawford been on lots of tackles tonight. Link brings the Bulldogs to the line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Link takes a snap, hands off there to Kelby Wheeler.
Stopped at the line.
31-yard line again. 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs. And it looks like Dalton Dallas is now running the plays in for the Bulldogs. At least he did on this play. They come to the line, all bunched up there together. Link takes it. He rolls out to the left. He's looking for a man. He doesn't see any. He's going to take it himself. He tucks it and runs it. And Link is going to get the first down out to the 44-yard line. 44-yard lines where they're going to spot the ball. First down, Bulldogs at their own 44-yard line.
Few good stiff arms running through.
Absolutely. Link's a strong runner. When he tucks the ball to run, he's a big kid, strong runner. And we saw that again last week. We saw that at Community. He had a couple of stiff arms where some guys came up to challenge him and probably wish they hadn't. Link back in the shotgun formation. He rolls this time out to the right. He throws out to the flat. Intended receiver on that was Joseph Birdwell, but the throw was a little bit low. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 44-yard line.
Looks like they tried to run a little option there.
We have seen the lefty, Aubrey Link, throw some beautiful passes, hit some receivers, some lasers right in the flat, right over the middle. Saw last week a couple of long passes that he threw. He really has a good arm, has good accuracy, and has good speed. We've got twins on either side now. Back in the shotgun. Link goes back. He can't find an open man. He throws it right across the middle. And he hits Will Massey. Good pass just before he was taken down by about 3 Jo Byrns defenders. He completed the pass to Will Massey out to the Jo Byrns 49-yard line. Excuse me, the 44-yard line. 1st and 10, again, for the Bulldogs.
You really have to appreciate him staying in there and getting the pass off.
When you're on your way to the ground and you still are able to complete the pass, you know, that takes a lot of resilience, takes a lot of poise to be able to stand in there with all those guys coming at you.
He knew it was coming.
Link back in the shotgun formation again. He sends Dallas in motion over to the right side. Now there'll be 3 receivers over the right side. Quick pass out to the flat, and that is a quick pitch and catch to Houston Taylor, who is able to pick up about 6-7 yards, 7 yards on that play. Should bring up 2nd and 3 now for the Bulldogs. That was a well-executed quick route out to the flat.
Gain of about 7 will be 2nd and 4 from the Jo Byrns 37.
Link now coming over to the sideline once again to get his play. Relays that information to the Bulldogs. They come up to the line. They're ready to go. 2 receivers on the left, 2 receivers on the right. Lone back Lancaster with Link in the backfield in the shotgun formation. He sends one of those receivers in motion over to the left. And here's the snap. Long pass. He airs it out. And
Oh, he went through the fence.
he went through the fence. He is stuck under the chain link fence. That's Will Massey. But he's able to take his helmet off and get out. But his helmet's on the other side. Okay, one of the little kiddos going to hand him his helmet back over the fence. So diving catch attempt made right at the 8-yard line. Would have been about a 32-yard play. Long pass from Link, just out of reach for Will Massey, who then went ahead and went under the fence there. And so that'll bring up 3rd and 3.
I've never seen that before.
Maybe a first for me, too. Pretty sure that fence is not attached anywhere on the bottom there at the ground. No.
He's back out, though.
He's back out playing again. Didn't seem to bother him. 3rd and 3 now for the Bulldogs. 3:44 left to go in the half. Bulldogs trailing 16-6. We've got a handoff and a reverse, and we've got some running room here for Joseph Birdwell, who is able to get the first down and about 6 or 7 more yards after that down to the Jo Byrns 25-yard line. 3:37 to go in the first half. The Bulldogs looking to get on the board again as they trail 16-6 here.
Tackle made by number 3, Malachi Riviera.
Good run in reverse there to Birdwell. Tyler Lancaster lone back with Link. Now Dalton Dallas comes and joins him. Handoff to Lancaster. He starts to get away from the tackle as he came up to make the play, but unable to get very much, maybe a yard gain on that. That's going to bring up second. We'll call it 2nd and 10. And with the spot, he actually has 1 yard loss on that. So 2nd and 11 from the Jo Byrns 26. 2:33 left to go in the first half. Lancaster back with Link. Link takes the snap. He throws. He hits Dallas right in the chest. Bounces off his chest right to the ground for an incomplete pass. It was a good throw and almost caught that. Back in my playing days, of course, I wasn't a wide receiver, but I do remember our coach talking about catching with your hands and not with your chest. Those shoulder pads are not very forgiving.
No. I know he wants another chance at that.
Absolutely.
He's really kicking himself.
3rd and 11. Dallas comes out over to the sideline. 3rd and 11 now. Link brings the Bulldogs up to the line. No receivers wide on either side. Here's the snap. He finds his man right over the middle. Once again, Will Massey, number 3. He's short of the line to gain for the first down. And that'll bring up 4th down and about 4. That was a good pass over the middle. And you know, John Carter, that's where the yards after the catch makes so much difference.
Oh, yeah.
In that if you can get 3-4 yards after those catches, then you can get down the field fairly quickly. Link bringing them up to the line. It's 4th and 5. Important 4th down for the Bulldogs. Trailing 16-6 here in this game. Here's the pass.
Knocked away.
Knocked away. Intended for Will Massey.
Knocked down by number 5.
But incomplete. And so we'll have a turnover on downs. And the Red Devils are going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 21-yard line. With a minute 34 left to go in the first half, the Bulldogs trailing 16-6 now need to put up another stop versus the Red Devils before the half. The Bulldogs set to receive the kickoff after the half, but they sure do need a stop here. Luke Miller takes a snap. He hands off to Cotton. Cotton over to the left side. He heads toward the sideline. And it looks like he's going to get about a 6-yard pickup. But because he goes out of bounds, the clock stops here. Minute 28 left to go in the first half. It's going to bring up 2nd and 4 for the Red Devils. Bulldogs definitely wanting to make a stop here and go into halftime with only a 10-point deficit. We saw them come out last week after halftime versus Community, almost a different team in the second half. Here's the snap back to Miller. Miller finds his man, but he overthrows him. He was trying to hit Clay Woody on the far left-hand side, next to the Jo Byrns sideline, but he overthrew him by, what, 3 yards? I guess Woody just couldn't get under that pass. Had he caught that pass, it would have been 6 for Jo Byrns, but just overthrew him there.
He had his wide open.
He had his man beat by about 2 steps, but just couldn't come down with it. But because of its incomplete pass, now it's with 1:21 left, the clock stops again. It's 3rd and 4 as the Red Devils on their own 27. And there's a sack and a fumble. And it appears as though, yes, it was recovered by the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs force a fumble. The clock is still running. It needs to stop. 1:07 left on the clock, but there should be about 1:11 or 1:12 left on the clock because the clock kept running after the play was blown dead. The Bulldogs, nevertheless, force a fumble, and now they take over 1st and 10 on the Red Devils' 16-yard line. Now, instead of putting up a stop, the Bulldogs have an opportunity here with just a little over a minute to go in the first half to put up another 6 points.
This is just the opportunity they needed to get back in this game.
They need to capitalize on this opportunity and at least get to 12, possibly 13 or 14, depending on the points after. Aubrey Link comes up to the line. He rolls out to the right. He's going to take it himself. He tucks it. He runs it. He's bulldozing over a couple of folks. And finally, the tackle was made by number 68. That is Isaiah Stevens who brought him down. But it's going to be about 2nd and 8. Timeout from the Bulldogs. We're going to take a break here and come back right after this. 45 seconds left in the first half. Knocking on the door, trying to score here before the break. Aubrey Link takes the snap. He steps back. He sees a man over the middle and unable to make the completion. So the clock will stop with 41.2 seconds left. And that'll bring up 3rd down with 8 yards to go on the Jo Byrns 15-yard line. Looks like that receiver coming across the middle was hit before the ball got there, didn't it?
He was looking for a flag afterwards.
I think he was, and I think a flag probably would have been justified there for defensive pass interference. He hit him about a half a second before the ball reached him. Link in the shotgun, takes the snap. He steps back 1, 2, 3 steps. He throws across the middle again, almost intercepted by the Red Devils. Number 11 came in there and at least batted it down, almost picked up the interception.
Honeycutt has been a big part of their defense tonight.
That's going to bring up 4th and 8 for the Bulldogs. With 36.8 seconds left to go in the first half of this ball game.
Looks like they're going to try for a field goal.
4th and 8, Aubrey Link back for the field goal. His brother, Aiden Link, holding. Here's the snap. Here's the hold. Here's the kick. It's up and sails wide right. So with 32 seconds left to go, the Jo Byrns Red Devils will take over, and they lead the Bulldogs by a score of 16-6 just here before halftime. And now we're back to the Bulldogs need to stop them in these last 32 seconds before the half and hold this lead to 10 points.
Shouldn't be too hard with just 32 seconds left, but
never know.
Anything can happen.
Just takes one play. One pass, one run. Got a late substitution here on the field. I think they only had 10 men out there. May have had an equipment problem. He's snapping up his helmet. May have had an equipment problem as the right tackle comes out back out on the field. Miller takes the snap. He looks to pass. He throws out in the flat to Cotton, who bobbles it, but he brings it down. We've got one missed tackle, and finally brought down by Link on the sideline, but not before he gets a first down and about 20 more yards. And that brings up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
The result of the play is a Jo Byrns.
That was about a 1-yard pass and about a 19-yard run. Oh, excuse me, about a 29-yard run. That was about a 1-yard pass and a 29-yard run.
I'm not sure if he went out. It was close to the sideline, but I'm not sure if he went out.
Cotton goes out to the right. He's jumping up and down, waving his hand, saying, I'm open, but it looks like Martinez is going to sack the quarterback, actually sling him down in the backfield. And they're going to say forward progress stopped at about the 41-yard line. So that'll bring up 2nd and 13, and another timeout from Jo Byrns. This time we're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back here on 1460 WEEN and 97.5 in the playoffs. Here's the snap to Luke Miller. Miller dumps off, tries to dump off to Cotton, but I think number 60, one of the linemen, actually tried to catch it, but ended up knocking it down, incomplete. And looks like Luke Miller was shaken up on that play a little bit. He went down, and he's coming up limping with 6.5 seconds left to go. It's 3rd and 10, and it appears as though the Red Devils are trying to make a last effort here.
He hit his head pretty hard on the way down.
When he came down. Timeout again by the Red Devils. We'll be right back right after this. Red Boiling Springs Bulldogs trail the Jo Byrns Red Devils by a score of 16-6. The Red Devils have the ball 3rd and 10 on their own 40-yard line. Luke Miller makes a plan with Cotton. Here's the snap. Throw out to the flat. Number 5 gets it. And he is taken down right at the double zeros on the scoreboard. So at the half, Jo Byrns Red Devils 16, Red Boiling Springs Bulldogs 6. We'll be back after an 18-minute half. We'll be back to the action. We're going to take a break, get a word from our sponsors, and then John Carter and I will come back with a little bit of analysis of the first half while the band is playing. Out the Jo Byrns High School band will be playing. It looks like they're getting set for their show out here. So we're going to have a word from a few of our sponsors. We thank you for listening to us, and we thank you for our sponsors who support Red Boiling Springs football. You're listening to 1460 WEEN and 97.5. And Cotton steps back, gets ready to kick off to start the second half. Jo Byrns leads the Bulldogs 16-6. Long high kick going to be taken by Birdwell. Kind of tried to dodge a couple of defenders and then tried to bulldoze his way through a couple, and he actually ended up getting about 3 yards on that. That was a strong run there at the end as the Red Devil defenders were trying to bring him down. He wasn't going to go down.
Keeps coming back to the yards after.
Yards after catch?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. The yak, the yards after catch. Aubrey Link brings the Bulldogs out on the field. It's 1st and 10. The Bulldogs take over on their own 32-yard line. Bulldogs trailing 16-6 here at the start of the second quarter. Start of the second half, at the start of the third quarter. Link back in the shotgun formation, steps back to pass. He finds Birdwell, but just overthrows him just a little bit. I mean, Birdwell would have been gone for 6 had he made that catch, but it was just about a yard out of his reach.
No one within 15 feet of him.
Great job, Birdwell, getting around his man and getting himself open, but just a little bit far. And so now that's going to bring up 2nd down with 10 yards to go after the incomplete pass. Link brings in the play. Tyler Lancaster, the lone back. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. 5-man front. Here's the snap. Link steps up in the pocket. He throws across the middle. He found Houston Taylor across the middle, and it looks like that Houston Taylor got a face mask on him there that was not called. Nevertheless, it's first down for the Bulldogs at the 49-yard line. That was a nice pass across the middle.
Good catch.
Good catch and a strong run after the catch.
Just what they needed for their momentum.
Absolutely. Maybe we can see the same thing we saw last week, the Bulldogs coming back in the second half with an explosive offense. Link brings him to the line. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to Lancaster. Lancaster is going to dive forward, and he's going to get about 3 yards on that. Across midfield to the Red Devils, 49. Second and 7 now. The Bulldogs crossing midfield. Would like to find the end zone again. Link breaks the huddle. Brings the Bulldogs to the line. Here's the snap. He fakes the handoff to Lancaster. He steps back to pass. The intended receiver on that was Will Massey, but he was covered up by the cornerback. The defender had him covered on that, so incompletion.
Risky pass.
It was a very risky pass. Could have been intercepted.
He's probably lucky he overthrew that one.
But he did overthrow it a little bit, out of the reach of either one of them. So that'll bring up third down and 7 yards to go on the Jo Byrns 49-yard line. Link looking to get a first down here. He takes a snap. He runs out to the right. He's going to keep running. Looks like he's going to get the first down. He bowls over the defender, but it's going to be enough for a first down. And the referee signaling to move the chains. So first and 10 after the run from Link. 10:06 left to go in the third quarter. And so in the opening drive of the second half, Aubrey Link commanding his Bulldogs and moving the chains. That's the name of the game. Keep moving those chains right down the field, right?
This is really what Red Boiling needs to get back in this game.
A score on the opening drive would be a shot in the arm for this Bulldog offense. Lone back Lancaster. Here's the snap to Link. He throws to Lancaster in the flat, who's got the catch. He's got some speed. He's got some open room, and there he goes. He's down to the 20, down to the 15, and he falls down finally. They bring him down at the 11-yard line. What a play by Tyler Lancaster. He turned on the Jets there, didn't he?
He sure did. He broke 4 or 5 tackles there.
At least 4 tackles, maybe 5 tackles he broke on his journey down to the 11-yard line. First and 10 now as the Bulldogs are again knocking on the door, looking to put some points on the board. And this could be the different offense that we were talking about during half that we see come out after the break.
It's really amazing to me with his size how he can just shed those tacklers.
Absolutely can.
Like they're nothing.
Link takes a snap. He drops back. He finds a man in the back of the end zone, but just thrown just a little bit outside. The intended receiver on that was Kelby Wheeler, but just a little bit out of his reach. But I tell you, Link there with a lot of traffic running around him, he stepped up in the pocket strong and made that throw. A lot of quarterbacks may have shied away from all those defenders coming at him, but he just stepped right into him and made the throw. And so admirable try, but it'll be second and 10 now. They're actually at the 12-yard line. 8:50 to go here in the third quarter. The Jo Byrns Red Devils still leading the Red Boiling Springs Bulldogs by a score of 16-6. Here's the snap to Link. He's going to roll out to the right. He's going to keep it. He's tucking it. He started to pass it, but then pulled it back and decided against it. And it looks like he's going to have a short pickup on this. Maybe a 5-yard pickup, depending on the spot. Looks like about a 5 or 6 yard pickup. So now we're going to go to third down and about 4 yards to go. The Bulldogs Now on the 6-yard line. Link breaks the huddle on 3rd down. Trying to pick up enough for the 1st down at the very least, and ideally get into the end zone. He steps back, he throws over to the flat. He tried to hit him, and that was, again, did a great job of getting himself open. Joseph Birdwell there on this left-hand side could have possibly been a chance for a score. And that's going to bring up 4th down with 4 yards to go. And this is where the Bulldogs need to convert this into some points on the board.
Yes, they do.
They tried to get a field goal, had the missed field goal when they got down here before. But, you know, we saw this several times versus Community where they would get 3rd down, 4th down, sometimes 4th and long, sometimes 4th and 10, 4th and 12. They'd go for it. They'd get it. And even got down on 4th down close to the goal line and went ahead and scored. So, you know, Link over here having a conversation on the sideline. They're going to take a timeout here. They're going to talk it over and decide what they're going to do here on 4th and 4. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to 1460 WEEN and 97.5. Your home for Bulldog football. Aubrey Link, quarterback for the Bulldogs, takes a snap, steps back, he passes on the 4th and 4 play, and touchdown. Bulldogs. Touchdown, and that was number 4, Joseph Birdwell. Caught that pass in the flat. They connected, and now the score 16-12 as the Bulldogs capitalize and cash in on this drive. They've held the ball the entire second half so far. 7:42 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Bulldogs have just slowly but surely marched down the field. Aubrey Link going to step back to kick the extra point. Aiden Link holding for him. The Bulldogs are set. Here's the snap. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 16-13 now as the Bulldogs close in on the Jo Byrns Red Devils. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, the Bulldogs will be kicking off to the Red Devils with 7:42 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Jo Byrns 16, Red Boiling Springs 13. We'll be right back right after this and see what their defense can do. The defense needs to put a stop up here on the first drive for the Bulldogs. Here's the kick, a high booted kick, gets behind the defender, goes out of bounds right at the 15-yard line. And, of course, the flag will come out because it goes out of bounds. Red Devils going to take over after the yardage penalty is assessed.
Puts them at the 35.
35-yard line. And, you know, with the speed that Jo Byrns has back there in the backfield, for Coach Link, I think that's probably a good idea. You know, those guys, there's at least 2 of those guys, and maybe all 3 of those guys that are back there. One of them is Cotton, that's back deep for Jo Byrns, and we have seen him nimbly and quickly run through defenders. And I think Coach Link probably did not want to chance having one run back on him. Miller back in the shotgun formation. He hands off to Cotton on the left side. He leaps a defender and leaps out of bounds for around a 5-yard pickup out to the 40-yard line. And so Jo Byrns will have 2nd and 5 at the 40.
Great athleticism.
That was definitely an athletic move when he jumped over. It looks like that the cornerback there, Birdwell, he dove at his feet to try to bring him down, and he hurdled him, jumped over him. But fortunately, it was on the sideline. He jumped out of bounds. Here's another handoff to Cotton. He's coming right up the middle, but he's going to bounce it outside to the left. And it may be enough for a first down. It is, and the referee's signaling to move the chains. So that's going to bring up first and 10 at the 46-yard line. Jo Byrns getting close to midfield.
Bulldogs have really got to get a hat on him.
7:09 left to go in the third quarter. And the Red Devils lead 16-13. First and 10 at their own 46. Luke Miller, quarterback for the Red Devils, sends a man in motion. Oh, we've got a fumble on the snap. And the fumble, it looks like it's going to be recovered by the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs get a break there. And
That's
it looks like
second time this has happened.
Absolutely. Was that Link that picked it up?
I'm not sure who fell on it.
Somebody fell on it. I think it was Link that fell on it. But nevertheless, the Bulldogs take over now, back on offense at the Red Devils 45. This again, maybe like last week. We see them go in at halftime. They're down. They come back. Explosive offense, good defense, and got themselves in a position to get back in the ball game. We're seeing it right now, it looks like, with the Bulldogs. And that's a great thing to see for these guys.
The Red Devils offense really helped them right there.
Absolutely. Link in the shotgun, takes a snap. He drops back. He throws out to Lancaster in the flat. He's got wheels and he's got room. And they try to bring him down. Finally, number 3 and number 5 push him out of bounds, but not before Lancaster is able to pick up a first down for the Bulldogs. Rivera and Woody took both of them to stop him, one to hold him up and the other one to come in and knock him down. Again, Lancaster showing speed after the catch and strength in his running after the catch.
He was grabbed in the shoulder pads. I'm surprised he got out of that one.
He is he's an impressive young man running the football.
Very.
6:13 to go here in the third quarter. Red Devils lead the Bulldogs 16-13, but the Bulldogs are marching down the field now at the Jo Byrns 30-yard line. Here's the snap. He throws out to Lancaster in the flat on the opposite side. Lancaster makes one defender miss, cuts back, gains about 5 yards on that play. That's going to bring up about 2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs.
Looks like he lost his footing there.
He did. He did. Had he not, it wasn't a defender that took him down on that. I think it was maybe the dew on the grass that brought him down there.
The turf monster.
There you go. Turf monster came up and got him. Grabbed him by the ankle and brought him down. Good throw and catch from Link to Lancaster. Now that's what we have seen this season between the two of them and others. We've seen Link completing those passes down the field, and it's really exciting times. Here's Link back to pass again, and he found his man. It looks
Still
like
up.
that Birdwell off on the right side on a little out route.
Flag is down.
We do have a flag down, but that catch, he got a few yards after the catch all the way down to the 10-yard line of the Red Devils. And that looks like a call against the Bulldogs. Holding is the call. And so they're going to bring that one back. And now we're going to have illegal block. Excuse me, illegal block on that. Hit an illegal screen on that. So now it's going to be 2nd and 1.
Is that one of those spot of the foul? Or
Yes, it would have been a spot of the foul instead of the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 1. Had a first down and a great pickup. But now the Bulldogs need to move these chains again. Here's the snap. He sees Lancaster. He's got him open. He makes a couple of men miss, spins, and picks up another 3 yards after the spin move. That was an impressive spin move.
23 was slow to get up. He really took his ankles.
Wow. Great spin move by Lancaster. And that's enough to pick up the first down for the Bulldogs.
He really has been impressive tonight.
Absolutely. At the 16-yard line of Jo Byrns, or we'll say the 17-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Again, knocking on the door. They'd like to take the lead here if possible. here in the third quarter. 4:10 to go in the third quarter. Link up to the line in the shotgun. Here's the pass. Intended receiver on that Birdwell. Bounces.
Throw was a little behind him.
Just a little behind him. I'm sorry, that was Kelby Wheeler. Kelby Wheeler was the intended receiver there. Threw just a little behind him, and Wheeler unable to get to that. And so 2nd and 10 now at the 17.
Those can be some hard passes to catch.
They are. Link brings in his play. Got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now we've got 2 to the right when Link tells Wheeler where to line up. Now he sends him in motion. Now he's going to hand off to Lancaster over to the right. Looks like he's got room. He's going to try to make a man miss. And it looks like he's going to pick up maybe 4 yards.
Lancaster with a carry. Was tackled by Caleb Stewart and Tyler Honeycutt.
Going to bring up 3rd down for the Bulldogs.
Will bring up 3rd and 5.
They trail 16-13 now to the Jo Byrns Red Devils. Jo Byrns Senior Night. We've been witness to several senior night activities tonight for the Red Devils. Special night for these seniors, I know. Here's the snap to Link. It's a keeper. He's going to tuck it from the get-go. He's going to run. He's going to bull his way down inside the 5-yard line. And so he's going to pick up a 1st down and put the Bulldogs in a great position here right near the goal line, maybe on the 3-yard line. They've got 1st and goal, and they've got 4 downs to get it in and possibly take the lead here against the Jo Byrns Red Devils.
That was an impressive play from just the beginning. The snap was a little high and out of his reach, and he grabbed it with one hand and pulled it in, and as soon as he did, he bowled over someone.
Link and Lancaster. He takes the snap. He throws. He sees his man. And the flag's going to come out. That's going to be a defensive pass interference.
He was tripped way before the ball was there.
Absolutely. And so the intended receiver on that was Joseph Birdwell. However, well before the ball got there, the defender for Jo Byrns essentially just tripped him and pulled him down from behind before he ever had a chance to make that catch. You have to wait until the ball gets there. Before you can put a move or before you can make that kind of contact with the receiver. And so it's going to be 1st and goal again. They're going to be able to replay that down. And Link is going to take the quarterback keeper, and he's going to go in for the score. And that's going to put the Bulldogs ahead by a score of 19-16 with 2:28 left to go in the third quarter. The Bulldogs, 2 unanswered scores now.
This is just what they needed.
Absolutely. Just like last week, their offense in the second half got cranked up. It took them a while to get started, and tonight we've seen it again. Now the offense is rolling. Both Links out on the field. Aubrey to kick, Aiden to hold for the extra point attempt. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. It's
Nearly
up.
Blocked.
And it's good. Aubrey Link scores. The point after attempt is good for the Bulldogs with 2:28 left to go in the third quarter. The Bulldogs have taken the lead now by a score of 20-16 here in Cedar Hill. We'll be right back at Jo Byrns High School after this. You're listening to 1460 WEEN in 97.5. Jo Byrns and Red Boiling Springs. Winner here will be 3rd, loser will be 4th. And that will decide who and where they're going to play next week in the first round of the playoffs. Aubrey Link back to kick for the Bulldogs. Kicks a little pooch punt there, fielded like a ground ball by Cotton. And this is maybe what they wanted to avoid on the kick, is giving Cotton the ball. And Cotton gets out to the 30-yard line. He's brought down by Birdwell.
Flag is out.
And also, I think actually leading that was Jerry Clark. But a flag has been thrown. And so we're going to see infraction against the Bulldogs. holding against the kicking team. It's going to be first down, but that's going to move the Red Devils out to the 41-yard line, where they're going to take over just shy of midfield after the kick. I'm not sure who the holding was on, but they called holding.
I'm not sure how
on the kicking team.
I'm not sure how that can happen, but it did.
If you get those hands outside and you sling somebody down and they don't have the ball, that's usually what's going to happen. Cotton over to the left side, the handoff. He's got some blockers, but he's got nowhere to go. He goes out of bounds right at the 49-yard line. Excuse me, the 45-yard line. Maybe a 4-yard pickup. Maybe we'll say a 3-yard pickup. Side judge over here, I think, was a little more generous on his initial spot until they actually spotted the ball. So now we're looking at 2nd and 8. It's a 2-yard pickup from Cotton. He did a lot of running from east to west right there for very little gain.
That's not what you want.
Want to go north and south, don't you?
Yes.
So the Bulldogs defense trying to put a stop here against Jo Byrns' Red Devils. Hold on to this lead that they've taken. In the shotgun, here's Luke Miller. Here's the pass. Oh, and a hard hit over on the far side of the field. Number 4, Joseph Birdwell. The pass was complete, but at what cost, you have to ask, because he put a hard hit.
Birdwell has been a key factor in this game,
Keeping
the Bulldogs in it, both offense and defense.
3rd down now and 3 yards to go. Jo Byrns lined up at the 48-yard line. Under center now for Miller for the first time in the game. He hands off to Cotton, who goes right up the middle, and will await the signal. He signals for a first down. That will move the chains after a short gain. It looked like it was going to be close after about a 2-yard gain. And so first down, with 1:15 left to go in the 3rd quarter, the Bulldogs still leading Jo Byrns by a score of 20-16. The Red Devils have the ball on the Bulldogs' 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Miller back to the shotgun. He hands off to Cotton, who bounces out to the right side, and now he's making them chase him, and they're not going to catch him. There goes Cotton all the way into the end zone for the Jo Byrns score. No flags on the field, and that will put Jo Byrns up by a score of 22-20. Once Cotton was released, once he got out of traffic, there really wasn't any catching him.
The blockers downfield really helped him with it too.
They did a great job blocking downfield, a well-designed play and a well-executed play by the Jo Byrns Red Devils. And Amari Cotton showing off some pretty serious speed there. 2-point conversion is on tap now to put the Jo Byrns Red Devils ahead by 4 if they're successful. Here's the snap under center, handoff to Cotton, and Cotton is able to get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, and that puts now the Bulldogs in a position to where they have to score a touchdown because a field goal will not tie the game. Score is 24-20 with 45 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to 1460 WEEN. Here's the whistle. Now here's the kick. Kind of a pooch kick. Picked up in the middle of the line. Picked up by Aubrey Link, who tucks it and runs up to the 42-yard line. So Red Boiling Springs will take over 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line and see what they can do to answer the Jo Byrns Red Devils in this latest score. Kind of traded leads back and forth here in the second half, and that makes for some good football. The Bulldogs would like to keep that trading the lead going here in the second half on this drive. Link bringing in the play. Huddles them up. They break the huddle, and they're ready to go.
Link's really showed some athleticism today.
He has.
With his hands too. that kickoff, he grabbed it with one hand and had a couple snaps he's had to grab with one hand.
He did. Here's the handoff to Tyler Lancaster over to the right-hand side. Lancaster comes back, cuts back toward the middle, and picks up almost first down. Let's see the signal from the referee. It looks like he's close to a first down, and no, it's going to be second down and very, very close to a first down, maybe a yard away from the first down. 16 seconds and ticking down here at the end of the third quarter. I don't think Link is going to try to get a playoff before the end of the third quarter. Going to let this clock run out, come back and talk about it with Coach Link on the sideline, and see if they're going to be able to get this first down. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter of the last regular season game. You're listening to WEEN 1460 and 97.5, your home for Red Boiling Springs High School football. Link back in the shotgun. Here's the handoff. Here's the reverse. We're going to try that again. And he's brought down, and Jo Byrns thinks he fumbled the ball, but it looks like the referee is signaling that he was down, or at least his forward progress was stopped when the ball came out. And so instead of being a turnover, it's going to be third down. There was a loss on that play, but a lot better than a turnover.
Oh, yeah. 75 is he's pretty big, and he threw him down pretty hard.
He did. He grabbed him and slung him down on the reverse. And I'll say it again, like I said last week during the community game, the reverse only works in Madden.
Yes.
The reverse doesn't work. Sometimes it works. Sometimes we've seen it work a little bit here tonight. But most of the time, the reverse is a hard play to pull off. Bulldogs come back to the line, 3rd and 6 on their own 46. Little option play, little pass across the middle. Able to make the completion there to Kelby Wheeler. That's going to bring up 4th and 3 on the 49-yard line. Bulldogs down 4 points with 10:37 to go in the ball game. Looks like they have elected to go for it, go for the first down. We saw that a lot last week versus Community. A lot of going for it on 4th down. I don't think Red Boiling Springs punted the ball at all in that game.
Only one punt tonight.
And they only had one punt last week by Community.
They really need this year.
They're going for it here, and he draws them off sides. And it looks like going to be a offsides on the defense.
Yep.
And that's going to move the chains and give the Bulldogs a first down. What a great heads-up play by quarterback Link. And I don't know if I'm sure the Coach Link, maybe told him to do that, but whether he did or not, there was a Link, either the older or the younger, that made a great decision on that. Draw them off sides, and it was beautiful. A couple of defenders for Jo Byrns jumped across and gave Red Boiling Springs a much-needed first down on a 4th down play.
That's just smart football, and not smart football by Jo Byrns.
Right. Link takes the snap. He looks. He doesn't find anybody open. He's going to tuck it. He's going to run it. He's going to make one man miss. He's going to run into a second man who finally brings him down, but he gets down to the 31-yard line of the Red Devils, and that's going to be a first down for the Bulldogs. Great run by quarterback Link there. When he saw he had nobody open, he just tucked it and ran it and was not going to be denied the first down. Sideline warning called by the referee against the Jo Byrns Red Devils. I think the Bulldogs may have thought it was a timeout. They started to come into the sideline, but then ran back out there when they realized it was actually a sideline warning. No penalty that was charged on there, but it is a warning. The next time there will be a penalty, a 15-yard penalty.
Looks like Jo Byrns coaches are getting a little bit upset.
Getting a little fired up and running a little bit too far out into the field to play. Link back in the shotgun. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Here's the pass over to the flat. The intended receiver on that is Houston Taylor, but thrown just a little bit short. Came back on the comeback route, and even though he dove for it, was unable to get it. he would have been one step further back, he probably would have caught that and maybe had some extra yardage. But as it stands now, it's 2nd and 10.
Just barely dropped.
Barely dropped. Absolutely. At the 33-yard line. 8:49 left to go here in the ball game. The Bulldogs trail the Red Devils of Jo Byrns by a score of 24-20 and looking to see if they can take the lead once again. 4 receivers. Lancaster in the backfield with Link. He looked for his man. He can't see him now. He finds his open man. He sees Taylor, and that is a definite defensive pass interference.
Pushed him while the ball was still in the air.
While the
way in the air.
The ball was 10 yards from coming down, and the cornerback pushed Taylor right in the chest and pushed him down. No chance to catch that ball at all. So that is going to be an obvious defensive pass interference against the Jo Byrns Red Devils.
Jo Byrns is not playing smart football right now.
Sometimes you let your emotion get the best of you. We've all done it. Those of us who've played, we've all done that. But, you know, that's a costly mistake. That's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down for the Bulldogs. And that's going to take the Bulldogs down to the 16-yard line, actually the 17-yard line, and puts them 15 yards closer to taking the lead in this game. With 8:41 to go, the Bulldogs are marching down the field. That was a beautifully thrown ball. Had there not been a pass interference there, I think he may have been able to catch that, possibly in the end zone. He was very close, right at the goal line where the ball came down.
I think he was standing in the end zone when he was pushed.
Link takes it right from the snap. He tucks it and runs it. Doesn't even look for anybody to pass to.
He's
still
up.
going. He's still up. After about 5 Jo Byrns defenders finally bring him down, he gets all the way down to the 2-yard line. 15-yard gain by Aubrey Link on the quarterback keeper from the shotgun straight to the 2-yard line of Jo Byrns. I think that kid wants it. I think he wants it.
He's really playing for it. He was brought down by the Red Devils, all of them.
Mm-hmm. It took at least half their team to bring him down, and he didn't want to go down at all. Here's another keeper by Link, and this time he's going to stand up in the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And they take the lead against the Jo Byrns Red Devils with 8:04 left to go in the ball game by a score of 26-24. Now the question for Coach Link. What do you do here? Do you go for 2 to put it 4 points out? Or do you go for 3? Or do you go for the extra point to put it 3 points out? He might be safe with 3.
It looks like he's going for the extra point.
I'm not sure that Jo Byrns has a field goal kicker. Cotton is their kickoff kicker, but they have not attempted a point after the entire game. If they don't have a field goal kicker, then he's safe going for 3 here, or to put it up by a 3-point lead. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. Beautiful kick right through the uprights, and the Bulldogs will take a 3-point lead by a score of 27-24. There's 8:04 left to go in the ball game, the last ball game, regular season ball game of the season. We're going to take a break and be right back, where Red Boiling Springs will be kicking off to the Red Devils. You're listening to 1460 WEEN and 97.5. Your home for Bulldog football. Here comes Link. Here's the kick. He kicks it right out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. And so after the penalty, the Red Devils will take over at the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Again, I think that was on purpose. I could tell the way he lined up and the way he kicked that ball with purpose. He was not about to let Cotton get that. Cotton, I think, has scored all of their rushing touchdowns in the game so far for Jo Byrns. And they didn't want to give him an opportunity to run one back for another score here on the kickoff.
The Bulldogs defense really needs to get a stop here.
They need to get a stop for sure. Holding on to a 27-24 lead with 8:04 left to go in the ball game. Luke Miller in the shotgun for Jo Byrns. Hands off to Cotton. Cotton can't find anywhere in the middle. He comes to the outside, stiff arms Lancaster, and he's finally pushed out of bounds. A couple of defenders over to the fence. And that's a first down. First down for Jo Byrns, out to the 45-yard line. That was a strong stiff arm.
It was.
That he put on Lancaster there just before he was pushed out of bounds.
Both running backs tonight have been just playing amazing.
Here's the handoff to Cotton up the middle again. Nothing doing. He bounces to the outside. Now he cuts back. He gets to the Bulldogs' 45-yard line, actually down to the 44-yard line, and that's another first down. So 2 runs, 2 first downs for Amari Cotton, and he has proven to be pretty much the one-man show back there for the Jo Byrns Red Devils tonight.
Brought down by 3 Bulldogs.
They are going to have to stop Amari Cotton to hold on to the lead here.
There's almost nothing they can do against them right now.
The Bulldogs putting up a good defensive front. We've seen them play with resilience before. Another handoff to Cotton right up the middle. Lancaster comes in on a blitz from the side, and as soon as Cotton got the ball, Lancaster put his helmet right on him.
Nowhere to go at all.
And so he actually had a 1-yard loss on that and took a hard hit. Tyler Lancaster with a great hit right there on Amari Cotton. And, you know, it's hits like that when you're a running back or you're a wide receiver. It's hits like that when you take that helmet right to the ribs. It makes you think twice about getting the ball the next time.
Yes.
And here's the pass across the middle. Ooh. That's going to be complete. And he's going to take it all the way down to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. There's a flag on the field, and he's into the end zone for Jo Byrns. Who is that? Number 5. That's Clay Woody. They're signaling. They're signaling touchdown.
Could be holding.
And it looks like the fans over there are revving up their big diesel engines to celebrate the touchdown, but it could be a penalty on the offense, and that's exactly what it is. So that brings it back.
That's embarrassing for them.
They wasted about 3 good gallons of diesel right there, I think, for no good reason.
Bunch of money down the drain.
That stuff's not cheap either. I know. 27-24 still, 6:19 to go. It's 1st and 10, but it's not a touchdown for the Jo Byrns Red Devils. They come back to the line of scrimmage, and they are at the 30-yard line.
Do you think they fill up before the game, then fill up after?
They have to, surely. Here goes Cotton around the left-hand side. They
Another
can't
flag.
get to him. We got another flag on the field. Cotton into the end zone. The initial signal is a touchdown, but it looks like there's going to be another penalty, and it looks like the diesel chorus over here not firing it up now, even though Amari Cotton got into the end zone. I think they're going to wait and see if they actually get the touchdown, and that one is also going to be called back. So 2 plays, 2 touchdowns called back on the Jo Byrns Red Devils. That's going to bring them back to about the 38-yard line. And now they're going to be about
first and a long way.
First and a long way. 1st and 18 maybe.
1st and 38? No.
1st and 20. 1st and 20 on the 38 after the penalty. And so for the second time, the Bulldogs still hold on to the lead. 5:51 here to go. 27-24.
Can really smell those fumes now.
And it appears as though we have unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Jo Byrns, possibly on the sideline, possibly on the coach. Going to back them up again. Now they're at their own 47-yard line.
1st and half the field.
1st and 30?
35.
35, 1st and 35.
Boy.
After the 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. They received a sideline warning earlier in the game, but I believe their emotions got the best of them there. So 1st and 35 on their own 47, and the Bulldogs are looking to capitalize here and see if they can stop Jo Byrns marching down the field. Here's the pass.
Almost intercepted.
Almost intercepted, but now we've got another flag on the field.
This is one of
from the far side of the field, and it looks like we have defensive pass interference on the Bulldogs. That is going to bring it back up another 15 yards. So it'll go back to 1st and 20 after the pass interference call. That was pretty close.
I didn't.
If he pushed him before the ball got there, it was just before the ball got there. It wasn't nearly as obvious as the one in the end zone earlier, but, you know, some of those are judgment calls.
It was questionable.
It could be close. It could be close. So 1st and 20 now from the Bulldogs, 37.
Still have a ways to go.
Got a way to go to that end zone. Way to go to the first down marker. Luke Miller takes a snap. He hands off to Amari Cotton, who runs out to the right side. The Bulldogs this time are waiting for him. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bulldogs are there to swarm around him. And he gets to the 40-yard line, maybe a short loss on that carry. It's going to bring up 2nd down with less than 5 minutes to go, just crossed below the 5-minute mark, 4:55 left to go in the football game. Your Bulldogs are leading the Jo Byrns Red Devils by a score of 27-24. The ball is spotted on the 40-yard line, and that's going to make it 2nd and 22 for the Red Devils. You can tell Cotton's getting tired. You can tell how he's walking on the field, holding his hips. He's getting tired. He run the ball a lot tonight.
If I ran 2 back-to-back touchdown calls that got called back, I'd be pretty tired too.
Absolutely. Miller in the shotgun formation. He sends Cotton out. Now we've got another flag on the field, delay a game by Jo Byrns. Didn't get the snap off in time, and so that's going to push him back another 5 yards, make it 2nd and 27.
Jo Byrns is not making it any easier on themselves.
I should have kept up with how many yards of penalties there have been in this one drive. I'm thinking at least 70 yards of penalties have taken place in this one drive
combined.
On both sides of the ball.
Yes.
2nd and 27 now on the 45. Luke Miller calls the snap. He sends Cotton in motion. He drops back. He finds a man across the middle.
Ooh.
He bobbles it, but he comes down with it and almost gets to the original line of scrimmage at the beginning of this drive, but not quite. That's going to make it 3rd and about 13.
Got to give that receiver credit for that grab.
Absolutely. He grabbed it, reached up with one hand, grabbed it, pulled it down. Little Odell Beckham Jr. catch right there.
Yeah.
Little grab across the middle with Bulldog defenders waiting to put a hit on him, and which they did after he caught it, but he brought it down and came down with it. That's a hard thing to do for a wide receiver coming across the middle like that.
That kind of catch and that kind of hit afterwards is very impressive.
When you have linebackers coming across to put a hit on you, that's impressive. Here's the snap back to Miller. Ooh, almost. That looked like that could have been intercepted, but it appears as though instead there's going to be a 1st down.
Oh, man.
So the Red Devils, after the completion, Miller makes the completion across the middle again, almost the same play twice in a row. They come back from being 1st and 35. Now it's 1st and 10. The ball is spotted at the 15-yard line. Jo Byrns looking to retake the lead with 2:35 left to go here in the football game. The Bulldogs trying to hold on to their 3-point lead.
Impressive drive, but the Bulldogs really needed that stop.
Absolutely. Miller in the shotgun. Here's the snap. He hands off to Cotton, who tries to go up the middle. But Aubrey Link is right there and pulls him down from behind. And looks like maybe a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10, maybe 2nd and 11, maybe a long 10. And so Link makes the stop for the Bulldogs, bringing up 2nd down. The clock's still running. Minute 47. I wonder if Jo Byrns is trying to run the clock down as much as possible to try to put in a score to prevent the Bulldogs from having enough time to score and answer them. But the clock is still running. They are in no hurry. Here's the snap back to Link. He's getting pressure. He finds his man out in the open. And that looks like that's going to be close to a first down. Maybe a first down, and it is. First down for the Red Devils. Catch was made by Taylor.
Clock's running down to 1:15.
Clock still running, 108, 107, 106. 27-24 here. The Bulldogs trying to hold on to this lead. Now under a minute to go. Jo Byrns on the 6-yard line. First and goal. Miller in the shotgun. Hands to Cotton. Cotton goes right up the middle. He gets inside the 5-yard line. And now Jo Byrns calls a timeout to stop the clock.
It's been the challenge all night for the Bulldogs trying to stop him.
Miller under center this time. That really means they're probably going to Cotton, and they stop him in the backfield. What a great way to sniff out that play, and another timeout taken by the Red Devils.
Fantastic job by the Bulldog defense.
Bulldogs with a 3-yard loss. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Right when they needed it, too.
Exactly. Now it's getting nice. We're going to keep it here instead of going away where the playoffs are going to be held for Red Boiling next week. Here's the snap to Miller. Miller throws across the middle. He finds his man in the middle. He caught it, then he dropped it in the end zone, and that's going to bring up 4th and 5 from the 5. With the incomplete pass, the clock stops with 36.7 seconds to go. The Bulldogs are really showing some poise in standing up to this Jo Byrns offense here at the goal line. The Bulldogs put a stop here. They can put a nail in this and carry the victory back to Macon County with them. Now this one is for all the marbles. 4th and 5 from the 5. Miller from the shotgun. He's back. He's going to pass. He doesn't see anybody open. He's going to run. The Bulldogs are able to stop him.
Wow.
Incomplete pass. The Bulldogs are going to take over, and the Bulldogs are going to win this football game by a score of 27-24.
Sidelines is going wild right now.
Red Boiling Springs Bulldogs.
They're coaches.
They're going crazy, and for good reason. What a great effort by the Red Boiling Springs Bulldogs.
Fantastic final drive.
Fantastic finish. And for these seniors, what a special way to end their last regular season game. To come back from a deficit at halftime, a 10-point deficit. It was 10-6. It was 16-6 going into halftime. And since halftime, the Bulldogs put up 21 points on the board to only the Jo Byrns 8 points in the second half. And so now Link is just going to kneel down with 30 seconds left to go. Jo Byrns will call their final timeout, and we're going to stay here with you through the timeout. I know those of you at home, the Bulldog faithful listening, are so glad to hear the Bulldogs bring away this 5th win for the season for them and put them in a great position heading into the playoffs next week. Amari Cotton was trouble for the Bulldogs for this game, but on this last drive, Cotton couldn't go anywhere. The Bulldogs were swarming him. They were staying with him.
Right when they needed to.
Right when they needed to. Miller was going across the middle trying to pass, and he had a man open in the end zone, could have scored the touchdown with about 45 seconds left to go. Hit him in the hands, and almost like he tried to catch it off his shoulder pads, catch it off his chest, and it bounced right off in the end zone, and could have sealed a victory possibly for the Red Devils, but instead the Bulldogs now with 29.7 seconds left to go with a 3-point lead. Link going to kneel down again on 2nd and 10 in victory formation. The Bulldogs are ready to put an end to this game. And that's 29.7 seconds are going to tick down, and the Bulldogs come over victorious. Their sideline celebrating A well-earned victory here at Jo Byrns over here in Cedar Hill, Tennessee. Great job by the Bulldogs tonight as they come away with a victory. 5 seconds left to go with a score of 27-24. And they'll go back to Macon County victorious heading into the playoffs next week. Now, what this will do is Red Boiling Springs came into this game third, and Jo Byrns came into the game fourth in the region. Red Boiling had a 4-5 record. Jo Byrns had a 1-8 record. Both of them were winless in the region. The other two in the region, Clay County and Gordonsville, are going to be fighting for 1 and 2 tomorrow night, Friday night. Very important game for the region. And tonight they were fighting for 3 and 4 in the region. And this will determine who they play next week in the playoffs.